Hi guys, welcome back to Zoom on Life. I'm your host and host for the show, Karanbir Singh, and thank you so much for joining. Firstly, I hope all of you are taking care of yourself and doing fine. Second of all, thank you so much for all your reviews and messages. It means a lot to me and my team. So for this new series, I have planned that I will be interviewing people from India and all over the globe. People who are doing something nice, unique, and have a story to them. So without further ado, let me call my next guest from the USA. It's a beautiful couple, they're amazing people, and I'm not going to say what they're doing. Let me call them and see what they have to say. Thank you so much for coming. I'm really sorry for the technical failure that we had today, but I'm really glad that you were able to go through it. Welcome to Zoom on Live. Before we start, why don't you guys introduce yourself to our audience?
Sure. This is my wife, Kathy. I'm Jeff Long, and I've been a producer, director of commercials and documentaries and videos of all sorts for the last 20 years.
And I have a career as an acupuncturist, and I practice functional medicine for also over 20 years.
And we started Teens for Teens Help, which is a nonprofit to really help teens and young adults. It's an online platform where they can see stories of recovery from a variety of mental health issues from their peers and get informational videos and resources to find paths to recovery.
Everything that we end up doing, I believe it's my personal faith that I believe that, everything, something like this, especially when we're doing, it has a really, really personal touch to it, So is there a story behind this? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, there's
absolutely.
a big personal story. You don't do something like this unless you've been affected. And
that's exactly
our stories.
Yeah.
Our story is that our daughter at the beginning of high school was diagnosed with anorexia, depression, and anxiety. And we spent 5 years going to every kind of residential hospital treatment program. And it was not until the end of her last treatment center that she spoke at a high school. And the next year, the high school said, "Can we have that girl speak again?" So she went back and spoke again.
And a young boy came up to her and asked if he could have a hug. And she said, "Yeah, but why?" And he said, "Well, last year when you were here speaking, I was trying to figure out how I was going to kill myself. And I actually heard your story and I asked for help instead, obviously." And that was really the aha moment for us. Our daughter was incredibly grateful that everything she'd been through made a difference in somebody's life. And for us, we saw how powerful these personal stories of recovery are, and that teens will hear it from other teens versus, when adults try to talk to them.
Yeah, that was one of the things we learned through all the programs, is that peer-to-peer interaction is so powerful. I mean, they get a lot from the therapist, but if you try to tell them something and then they hear it from their peer, they just go, "Oh, well, Johnny said this." And it's the same thing they've been hearing, but then it really seems to sink in and make a difference. And so we went online to see if we thought, it's 2018, this has to exist. And we looked around, and there's a lot of stories, they're written, there's a lot of sites, but they're, again, mostly told by adults. And we realized that the key is to have teens talk to other teens. And so we just said, we have to make this, we have to do this.
Yeah, so we partnered with some universities. We're working with USC and UC San Francisco, and they're helping us with our research and our information, because it's super important for us to present information that's current and accurate and up to date. And so we have the stories of recovery followed by short informational videos about each topic, like signs and symptoms of anxiety and types of anxiety. So we have our professional advisory board as well. And then we also have a teen advisory board, which is super important. So we've got a big teen voice with input on everything that we put up on the site.
Yeah, because we're not making this for us, we're making it for them. So it has to be in their style and manner and voice. And so that's what we're doing.
I think it's a beautiful idea where, if you're creating stories on something like real life stories, people are coming and sharing. Somewhere, even I hope this happens in India, that people realize that, mental health is as normal an issue as having a physical problem. If I am not well, I want to go and get myself checked. I really want to, having a cold, I go to a doctor. That's how normal going and seeing a therapist should be, because
there is so much that we all are dealing, and especially in teenage and in early 20s, we feel that, we have so much burden of life and we have to do so much more. But I'm really glad that, this. So there's so many other organizations doing the same thing. What do you think is something that, you guys are targeting in a very different way? What is the thing that makes you guys unique? I'm sure you must have researched a lot of other organizations, their work, seen, okay, you know what, I think this is what is required, this is what is missing. So what is that one thing that you think you are filling up the gap for?
Well, I just always say the secret sauce for us is that we have teens telling their stories to other teens. It's, somebody's story of experience is somebody else's story of survival. And the shortest line between two people is a story. And so, we don't have adults telling these stories to teens. We don't have, written stories. We have actual teens telling the stories, sharing their experience. And that makes the difference. That's where the power in this lies. And then, we wrap that up with, of course, the informational videos, but again, everything is going through our teen board in their voice and their concepts. We say, what should this look like? What should it sound like? Do you understand these words? Should we change them? And so, it's really the power of the peer connection.
Yeah, and our goal is we've got the stories, and then, I'm a big believer that knowledge is power. And so if you can understand something, maybe it's not so fearful, and maybe it's something that isn't so big and looming, and you realize you can actually tackle it. And so by giving these short little videos of informational videos and the resources, and then we're building out a robust self-help category where they can learn about things like art therapy or yoga, and tools that you can then start to implement yourself. And so what makes us different also is that we want to be this really robust hub of information that is correct and accurate and helpful, really.
In teen and young adult focused.
Right.
We're taught so many things in school, writing and arithmetic and math, but people aren't taught emotional intelligence. And from the moment you're born till the moment you die, you have an emotion. And so most people don't know what that means, what's behind that, what are their triggers, where they came from. And so we want to, provide some of that information too. And it can be even summarized in a short statement of, if you can name it, you can tame it. And most people have they can name 8 to 10 emotions, but there's over 100 emotions. So if you can get down and really decide, this is how I'm feeling right now, and you just say it, that begins to be part of the solution.
I really, really wish, and I really hope that it flowers in USA and it comes to India. People in India also take, especially for teenagers, because it's such a delicate age for anyone to go through. And I believe that our early ages end up making who we are. It impacts the entire life. And I really hope people can understand and then help teenagers and normalize this concept. What is your message for the world?
Our message is we want to know that everybody's going through something, and we want to normalize the conversation around mental health and asking for help and expressing what you're going through. And it's by hiding it and feeling shame about it that it just becomes like this monster. And so we just want to normalize, like you were saying, physical health and mental health, they're the same. I mean, we're all connected and one impacts the other. And that's really the key. We just want to normalize it, reduce the stigma, and keep the conversation going.
Yeah, find ways to heal.
I think, I love that line that you said, everyone is going through something. And that's one thing that we really need to, with this new technology, Instagram and everything, we all believe that everyone else is having a wonderful life and it's only us who are not having a wonderful life. It's just our filters that are wrong and, my face that's not looking good. But it's just, we need to understand that people are putting their best foot forward on Instagram or any other social media website. It's a means to connect to people, to show what you are doing, and we hide our failures. And we really need to know that everyone is going through something, and it's very normal to not be okay. It's very normal to go through and be sad and experience all those emotions, I believe, But, I really wish people can really understand that emotional intelligence increases over a period of time, and we can really grow with it. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Kathy. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Looking forward to having more talks with you. And I hope, guys, everyone who's watching this show, that Teens for Teen is live. You can go to the website. You can write to them. They're exceptionally friendly couple. You can write to them, share your stories with them, and they would be more than happy to help you and listen to you and be there for you. On that note, thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you so much, Kathy, for joining. Looking forward to meeting you guys again. Have a great weekend. Thank you.